Licensed firearm owners should, in general terms, cooperate with police as required by law, but also need to understand their own rights. There's a number of scenarios where police will visit a firearm owner at his or her home. In this video, we will endeavour to explain what you should do in each case. We're grateful to the barrister Nicholas Taylor for providing this advice, which he gave to Pistol New Zealand, who are very happy to share it with the licensed firearm community. So, point one, what are the basic rules of engagement when the police knock on your door?
Well, Rob, I guess the first bit is that you've got to be polite but firm. You must ask to see identification, and we strongly recommend that you record the name of the officer and their station. We recommend you ask why they're there and ask them to refer to the exact statutory, that is published law, authority they're using to visit your home or to ask you any questions. And we recommend that you record the conversation either via your phone or by closed circuit TV cameras, and you do this for your own notes and your own records.
So somebody who's a standard A category licence holder, what I must do?
Well, you must allow the police to enter your home and to inspect your firearms, where they're stored and where you store your ammo. The police must give you 7 days' notice and conduct the inspection at a reasonable time. At no time can the police photograph your firearms or record the serial numbers of your standard A category type firearms. However, they may record the number of rifles and shotguns. We need to be aware that it is an offence to refuse an inspection of firearms in your possession, and you must supply your licence on demand, but you do have 7 days in which to comply if you can't find it.
Now, people who have got endorsed licences, do the rules change for them?
Yes, but only slightly. Basically the same for the standard licence holder, but in this case, they may ask you to inspect a specific pistol, restricted weapon, prohibited firearm, or prohibited magazine by make, model, calibre, and serial number. If it's in your possession, as well as your safe, and your security. So they're entitled to check out the specific firearm and your safe and your security. It's not a requirement that all need to be produced for inspection at once. Each separate item must be identified and then produced one by one in turn in order to comply with the conditions of the endorsement that you hold. And once again, they must give you 7 days' notice and carry out the inspection at a time reasonable to you.
Is it an offence to produce a specific endorsement firearm to police on demand?
It is, yes, it is an offence to refuse. If they ask you for a specific firearm and you refuse, then you are committing an offence.
Okay. We've heard about raids and police arriving at a licensed firearm owner or owners place. What should we do?
Well, if police enter your home via a search warrant or under the Search and Surveillance Act warrantless search or Arms Act provisions for search, then you should do each of the following. First, ask for under which act you're being searched. Second, ask for a copy of the search warrant. Next, you must refuse to answer any questions other than provide your name, address, and date of birth if police detain you. And you must ask to call your lawyer, and we certainly recommend you record the name and number of the police officer in charge.
What if it's not such a big raid, but what if police turn up and start asking me questions?
Well, once again, you ask for identification and you note down in writing the name and number of the officer concerned. You should ask, under what statutory authority am I being questioned? Now, by saying statutory authority, we mean they need to tell you which piece of law, which part of the law they're acting under. And we recommend that you politely and firmly refuse to answer any questions. You call your lawyer and you seek legal advice. And as in any other case, you record the conversation on your phone or in some other way.
Number of licence owners have received licence suspension notices, the police just arriving in strength without any warning. What are the rights of somebody when that happens?
Yes, it does. If the police demand that you surrender all your firearms, ammunition, and associated items immediately, you should refuse. It's our understanding that you are not committing an offence by doing so, but you should also contact your lawyer immediately. Don't invite police into your home. Police may still seize your firearms, but in order to do so, they must obtain a search warrant or conduct a warrantless search that meets certain legal conditions that can be challenged. You should demand that police provide you with a receipt for every item taken. Remember, this is still your property, even when it's seized. And we know that those items, some of which can be quite delicate or even rare, are not handled with the greatest of care, unfortunately. And finally, on that point, Rob, you should take legal advice and challenge the suspension notice. On several occasions, these suspension notices have been served for just trivial reasons. So firearms owners do need to be aware that it may not be all that it should be.
Neville, a very complex situation, and one that I hope that anybody watching doesn't actually ever have to face. But thank you very much indeed. What we're trying to do is to arm you with the information that you need to make sure that your rights are being looked after.